This version of the Amex Platinum just got way easier to get. It is the Morgan Stanley Amex Platinum, and it used to be reserved for people who had a serious amount of stock investments with Morgan Stanley. But they've just opened this card up to all members of a very common stock brokerage that anyone can sign up for. And you can easily get an extra $200 in annual value out of this card, and some people will be able to get the annual fee on the card, which is $895, completely waived. We're going to tell you all about that, plus we have the Bilt rent day benefits for you, which include up to 100% transfer bonus to a certain airline. Hey credit warriors, welcome to the show. My name is Ben Hedges, aka the Credit Shifu, and on this channel I cover US credit cards, personal finance, and luxury travel. If you like the sound of that, please subscribe, but let's get into it. And this video is brought to you by Masterclass, but more on that later. So first, the Morgan Stanley Amex Platinum. The major advantage of the Morgan Stanley Amex Platinum is that your first authorized user card is free. This would normally cost $195 per year. So this could be really great for a couple who are going to do a lot of traveling together. Well, I guess you could be traveling separately too, but if you're traveling together, Amex doesn't now allow free guests in the Centurion Lounge. So you can get your spouse in for free because he or she has their own card. Same with the Delta Sky Club. Your authorized user will get 10 passes per year on their card, same as the primary card holder. So whether you're traveling together or your spouse goes somewhere on their own, well, they can now get into the Centurion Lounge or the Delta Sky Club 10 times per year. There are also some other benefits that we're going to talk about on this card that are pretty good. But first, I want to show you all of the hoops that you used to have to jump through to get this card, and one of its best benefits, the credit for the annual fee. Here's a video I made a few years ago. What you have to do for this is, you first set up a Morgan Stanley Access Investing account where you need to make a minimum deposit of $5,000. Then you have to open up a Morgan Stanley Platinum Cash Plus account. This is free if you have a minimum balance of $25,000 and a monthly deposit of $5,000. Otherwise, it'll cost you $45 per month. Then if you have the Morgan Stanley Amex Platinum, because you also have the Platinum Cash Plus account, you'll get an engagement bonus of $695, which covers your entire annual fee. So as you can see, it's quite a commitment. Now there were a few changes over the years, right? That video is from 2021. The Access Invest account actually closed to new members. So then it was even harder to get a brokerage account with Morgan Stanley. And obviously, if you want the credit for the annual fee, you need to have a minimum balance with the Premier or Platinum, I think it's Platinum Cash Plus account. So it really isn't that easy. But now things have changed because they have opened up the Morgan Stanley Amex Platinum to anyone who has an E-Trade account. Now, E-Trade was bought by Morgan Stanley in 2020 for $13 billion. Actually, I think it was the largest acquisition by any US bank since the financial crisis. And E-Trade is not an exclusive wealth management platform for the 1%. No, E-Trade is open to everyone. And just by having an E-Trade account, you can then apply for the Morgan Stanley Amex Platinum and at a minimum, get your first authorized user for free, saving $195 per year versus the regular Amex Platinum if you were to get an authorized user card for that card. You can also redeem Amex points at 1 cent per point directly into your E-Trade account to invest with, or just cash out if you want. Not as good as the 1.1 cents per point with the Charles Schwab Platinum, but still better than getting a statement credit for 0.6 cents per point, which is the only cashback redemption option that Amex offers on the regular, or what we call vanilla Platinum. Now, if you do have the Platinum Cash Plus account from Morgan Stanley as well, they have increased what they call the annual engagement bonus up to $895, which is the cost of the annual fee now that the Amex Platinum has been refreshed. So you can still get that bonus if you have their Platinum Cash Plus account that has a $55 monthly fee unless you meet certain requirements, okay? So getting the credit for the annual fee is going to still be more of a commitment for people with larger amounts of money, but simply getting this card is now very easy. All of the features are the same as the vanilla Platinum, apart from saving $195 per year by getting your first authorized user for free, being able to cash out the points at 1 cent per point, and that annual engagement credit which covers the cost of the annual fee, if you can get it. Only thing to take into consideration is the public bonus right now on this version of the card is only 80,000 points. And with Amex, you can normally find all sorts of crazy bonuses, whether it's free referrals, incognito, etc. So you will be getting a little bit of a lower bonus if you get this card. All right, guys, let's now move on to our second story of the day. Bilt rent day transfer bonuses and extra bonus value when redeeming Bilt points for gift cards. But first, I believe in constantly bettering myself and leveling up, both in business and in other areas of my life. And that's why I have partnered with Masterclass. It is a video platform I really enjoy, where you can watch well-produced classes by over 200 top instructors. One class I really liked was Mark Cuban's Win Big in Business. Since I obviously run a finance-based YouTube channel, I found it really motivational to hear ideas from someone who has made it way further than I have so far. I was also able to find a class on Masterclass by James Clear, the author of Atomic Habits, a book that I have read. And it was awesome to hear how he delved further into some of the concepts from the book, like how to get 1% better every day. If you can do that, then you can get like over 300% better at what you do each year. But I'm also a filmmaker, and some of my other YouTube channels take more of a documentary filmmaking style, telling stories. So I watched director James Cameron's class on Masterclass. I found it really fascinating, especially the parts about how to create and then release tension to make videos more interesting. So Masterclass is a platform that provides incredible value. Members get unlimited access to over 200 classes and thousands of lessons across business, writing, science and tech, health and wellness, cooking, and more for just $10 a month, billed annually. During this holiday season, my viewers can get up to 50% off an annual Masterclass subscription. Just click the link down in this video's description or scan the QR code on screen now and they'll know that I sent you. Learn from the world's best to become your best with Masterclass. All right, guys, so it is that time of the month again where my wife suddenly starts asking me what the rent day bonus is going to be for Bilt. What do you think I was going to say? Anyway, so Bilt is the very popular rewards program that lets you pay rent and earn points. And they will also let you earn points on mortgage payments starting next year. And on top of that, they also have a dining program where you can earn 3 extra points on all of the restaurants in their program. And they have a credit card as well, which lets you pay rent with no fee and earn points. The card is currently being updated, so it's not open for applications at the moment, but a new Bilt trifecta will be replacing the card next February. But you can be a member of Bilt without having the credit card and still earn points and get a lot of benefits, including rent day on the 1st of every month, where they offer some really cool transfer bonuses to partners. So let's look at what they're offering this rent day, which is December 1st. And actually, some of these deals start this week. Today, in fact, is the first day because obviously this week is Thanksgiving and Black Friday. But we'll talk about the Bilt transfer bonuses first, okay? So this is the thing that you have on December 1st. You will be able to get a transfer bonus of between 50% and 100% to British Airways, Aer Lingus, and Iberia, which all use the points currency Avios. So we don't actually need to mention all 3 of them. If you have one of them, you can transfer between them. Bilt is kind of presenting British Airways as the main one anyway. Look, they made this beautiful graphic. So we'll just talk about British Airways mainly for short, but just know that you get all 3 of them. And you can actually transfer points to Qatar Airways too. There are actually 7 airlines that you can transfer to once you have points in an Avios account with any of these 3. But let's now look at the bonuses that you can get on each tier of Bilt membership. So for Blue, you get a 50% bonus. For Silver, it's 60%, Gold is 75%, and Platinum is 100%. So the bonus for the basic Blue member, that's someone who's just joined Bilt, hasn't, worked their way up through the status yet, it's 50%. That's still great. So for every 1,000 points that you transfer over, you get 1,500 Avios in your British Airways account. Then for Platinum, obviously you get double, so 1,000 becomes 2,000, and then all the levels in between. You can only get this transfer bonus on December 1st, so if you want to take advantage of it, don't forget, all right, and miss it, but also make sure that you have a use for these points. Ideally, you need to have found award availability first so that you don't miss out, all right? You don't want to get your points trapped in British Airways and not have a use for them. That goes for everyone except for people who are very experienced at using British Airways Avios or whichever of the other airlines you can transfer them to. So it's a great thing to take advantage of. The highest bonus that I've ever seen from Amex, for example, to British Airways is 40%. 10% lower than even the lowest level of bonus with Bilt. All right, let's move on to some gift card bonuses from Bilt. Now, Bilt normally lets you redeem Bilt points at 0.7 cents per point for gift cards. So like this $10 Apple gift card, for example, would cost me 1,428 points. But they have released a schedule of opening up greater value at a load of stores. So here's how it works. Each tier gets greater value following this schedule. Blue gets a 25% bonus, so that's 0.875 cents per point. Silver is a 50% bonus, so that's 1.05 cents per point. Gold is 75%, so that's 1.225 cents per point. And platinum is a 100% bonus, so that's 1.4 cents per point in value. So obviously for people who are blue, I wouldn't recommend it because it's still less than 1 cent per point, okay, which is kind of like my absolute minimum redemption value for transferable points. I mean, even through the Bilt travel portal, I think you get 1.25 cents per point, all right? So it's not even as good as a travel portal redemption. But for silver and up, it is a good little bonus if you want to get a gift card to use on Black Friday weekend, okay? But what gift cards will actually be eligible for these bonuses? Well, they open up a few stores each day, and then once the stores are open, they run until the end of rent day, okay, which is actually Cyber Monday, December 1st. So here's the schedule. Day 1, we have Macy's, Apple, and Nordstrom. Day 2, and the dates are on screen, all right, I won't read them out. Day 2 is Uber Eats, Domino's, Panera Bread. Day 3 is Instacart, Safeway, and Kroger. Day 4 is Home Depot, Wayfair, and Quincy. I don't know what that is. Day 5 is Amtrak, Airbnb, Chevron, and Texaco. Day 6 is AMC, Spotify, YouTube TV. Day 7, all of the brands are available. So it's worth pointing out that the 27th is Thanksgiving and the 28th is Black Friday. Okay, so that's day 3 and 4, I think, on the little schedule we just showed you. So from there all the way until Cyber Monday on December 1st is when you're going to get the best deals, okay? Don't redeem points for, say, a Macy's gift card today and then use it today, right? Wait until at least Thanksgiving for those best sale prices, all right? You want to see what discounts they're going to be giving. And you have until the end of Cyber Monday to redeem points for gift cards with the bonus, all right? And then you can redeem the gift cards anytime you want, but it's going to work out best if you also redeem your gift card before the end of Cyber Monday, since you can get a gift card for a lower amount of points and then you can use it for something that's on sale in a Thanksgiving, Black Friday, Cyber Monday sale. And then finally, on rent day, which is Cyber Monday, December 1st, for people with the Bilt credit card, you'll get the usual double points on all your spend except for rent. So if you use the Bilt credit card for dining, it's going to be 6 points per dollar because it normally earns 3 points per dollar. If you go to a restaurant that is in the Bilt dining program, though, it adds an extra 3 points for a total of 9 points per dollar. And actually, the dining program can be used anytime, not just on rent day, and with any credit card. So if you have like the Amex Gold, for example, well, that's going to be 4 points from Amex plus 3 from Bilt. That's a total of 7 points per dollar. Or the Citi Custom Cash and dining is your biggest spend that month. It's going to be 5 points from Citi, 3 from Bilt. So that's a total of 8 points per dollar. I'll put a link down below, actually, if you want to sign up for the Bilt dining program. It is such a no-brainer. Just don't forget, once you sign up, link your card that you usually use for dining so you can actually get the extra points, all right? Do not forget to link a card. And then you can browse all the restaurants in the Bilt dining program. You don't have to click through or anything. You just go to the restaurant, use the card. Sometimes you might even get extra points without realizing you dined at a Bilt restaurant. All right, guys, that is the video for today. Like I said, link for the Bilt dining program is down below. It is a total no-brainer. Do sign up, check it out. A big thank you to Masterclass for sponsoring this episode. Do check out their platform in the first link in the description down below or by scanning the QR code on screen now. Please subscribe to the channel if you're new, and we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.